Hello, and welcome back to Airspace Link's AirHub Academy. Today, we'll discuss airspace and ground risk awareness and pre-flight planning. We'll start in the Discover tab, zoomed out to show the US. Our maps and data are dynamically linked, meaning the farther out you zoom, the less information appears on the map. The closer you zoom in, the more information will appear. This is designed so that the map always displays the level of information that is best used for viewing it. At this zoom level, the map only displays some data. The blue shapes indicate FAA airspace, and the red shapes indicate temporary flight restrictions and other FAA airspace restrictions, as well as warnings and information. As we zoom in, more information starts to be displayed. To determine what information is on the map, simply open the Layers tab, and you will see the map layers and legend information displayed. On the desktop version of Portal, click the Layers icon. On mobile, the same icon will be a picture of two stacked squares, but the word Layers does not appear. When I want to identify a particular type of item on the map, I can open the legend and look through the list. The list includes temporary flight restrictions, grid ceiling heights, military training routes, drone recreational sites, and obstructions, among many other types of information. In addition to FAA data, we also have AirHub ground insights. Let's zoom in on a city, such as Olympia, Washington. As I zoom in, more information becomes available, including these hexagons. You can also see military training routes and other information within this area. Let's zoom in further into the Olympia area, and now you can see my FAA grid is displaying the altitude limits. As we continue to zoom in, more information becomes available, including these hexagons. The darker hexagons indicate high daytime population density, and the lighter hexagons indicate very high daytime population density. We can also see that we have electrical transmission lines, an electrical facility, and a helipad. As I zoom in even farther, individual street names are resolved, and we also have FAA obstacles, including their height above ground level. In addition to the map styles and layers, we offer 5 different background maps. By default, we display everything in a dark map. However, we have the same data in a light map version if you prefer. We offer satellite imagery and our VFR sectional maps. One caveat with VFR sectional maps is that they are limited in their zoom capability. As you can see, when I'm at this zoom scale, they are not very useful. However, as I start to zoom out, you will see the map resolve itself and become much more useful to our pilots. Included on this map are airports and military training routes, obstacles and obstacle altitudes, as well as all standard flight chart information. Finally, we have a navigational map similar to a Google map or a Waze traffic map. For the purposes of this demonstration, I will continue using the dark map. In addition to the map information displayed, we also display weather information. On this date, I do know that there is some weather in Northern California that we should definitely take a look at. The first thing I'm going to do is simply drop a pin. You can see now that my weather information shows a red check mark, indicating that flying is dangerous. If I click on this, I can see the red danger sign. Also, there is a 100% chance of precipitation, so it's not recommended to fly. Portal utilizes a traffic light system for many widget functions. In this case, red equals danger, yellow equals caution, and green means clear to fly. In the event of a dangerous or a caution situation, the danger or caution area will be indicated by either a red dot for danger or a yellow dot for caution. These dots will indicate whether the issue is temperature, visibility, precipitation, cloud base, wind, or wind gusts. Finally, if there is an alert from the National Weather Service, this icon will indicate that alert. Once you click on it, you can see that a freeze watch has been issued from October 15th at 3:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time until October 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This has been issued by the National Weather Service in Reno, Nevada. To minimize the weather information, I click the minus sign, and now we're back to our original map view. Finally, I want to discuss the dynamic map pin. As I described earlier, we use a traffic light system to indicate whether a map pin is green, clear to fly, yellow, needs approval, or red, do not fly. Since we are in uncontrolled airspace in this instance, we are clear to fly. However, if I zoom in around the Sacramento area, you can see that I have actually five different airports within this area, each with its own launch grids. As I zoom into the Sacramento airspace, I will drop a pin here, and you'll see now that this indicates that I need to get approval from the FAA. If I maintain an altitude of 400 feet or lower, the FAA will automatically approve the operation. However, if I were to fly in an area with a zero flight height ceiling, or wanted to fly higher than 100 feet or 250 feet in these launch grids, I would have to request further coordination from the FAA. Once you click the Get Approval pin, the further coordination request is presented to the user in the operation details. Once you receive the further coordination request, fill out the information and submit it to get your authorization. Please note, you must submit your request 3 days before your operation date. We recommend at least a week to give the FAA a proper amount of time to reply to your request and for you to reply if there is any issue with your request. Finally, let's look at the information in our advisory panel. The advisory panel tells us about the airspace we want to fly in and lets us know not only the airspace we are flying in and the flight height ceiling, but also if there's any information that might affect our flight nearby. In this case, we're viewing Sacramento Executive Airport. To clarify this a bit more, I'm going to come down here and drop a pin. Now you can see I'm in Class D airspace with a 400-foot flight height ceiling and near special use airspace. If I click on that, I can simply click this arrow. It will take me to the FAA page to describe the special use airspace. To point out once again, we have two different notifications. At the location where I want to fly, I'm in Class D airspace with a 400-foot flight height ceiling. Near the airspace that I want to fly in, there is special use airspace that may restrict flight activity. So, that does it for airspace and ground risk awareness and pre-flight planning. If you have questions, would like to have another demonstration, or have any issues with our video, please don't hesitate to reach out. And as always, thanks and happy flying.